So all your fears or what's going on with TikTok are totally valid. You're watching here a clip from CNN media analyst Brian Stetler, who goes through the brand new ownership of TikTok as of last week and shares the fact that it's Trump aligned. So, those of you who are similar to me who produce content that's left leaning or left of the political spectrum, I'm sure you're noticing differences, and you may not have been seeing me or other folks on this app if you're watching this on TikTok. If not, that's what's going on. So, first, watch this segment really quickly. It's a quick clip.
TikTok's new American business is off to a really inauspicious start, and the app is on the fritz. It's been on the fritz for days, with users reporting different sorts of problems. And as you said, TikTok is blaming this on a data center outage, but some users just are not buying it. The context here is key. Last week, TikTok's U.S. entity changed hands. This was a result of a long gestating deal between TikTok and the Trump administration, trying to resolve concerns over national security. The new TikTok U.S. business is controlled by American investors who are allied and aligned with President Trump. These are figures like Larry Ellison, the Oracle billionaire, and Michael Dell. These are figures who are now controlling TikTok's U.S. entity, and there are lots of questions about whether this joint venture is going to put the thumb on the scale to benefit President Trump, to benefit the MAGA right, in some of the same ways that Elon Musk moved Twitter to the right.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what's the difference in the terms of service, like the specific things. And it's crazy. And then for those of you who haven't left already and still here, and you're thinking about navigating off the app and you would like to take as many of your followers as possible, this video is for you, because I'm going to walk you through the steps and I'm going to give you the good, better, and best option. And it ranges from mainly free for the most part, to a small investment of your time and perhaps a little bit more resources if you want to like go all in on the premium way of navigating off. And so first, the terms of service. There are three biggest things that you need to know in the changes. Of course, you know there's a change in ownership. It's now owned by an entity that is American. Again, like I said, this linked and aligned with the Ellison family, and the big donors are Donald Trump. And so that's the first thing. The most important thing is the data collection. TikTok, when it was owned by ByteDance, did collect data, but data from you based on your use on app. What the new owners have said is they're going to collect off-app personal and behavioral data. Interesting. The second thing is that AI and analytics provisions are significantly more aggressive. Your content, your likeness, your voice, your behavioral patterns, they're now clearly addressed, licensed, and reusable in the ways TikTok never spelled out. The third point, and this is really explicit that you need to know, I took notes, is it says by continuing to use this platform, essentially you assume the risk. ByteDance never really explicitly told you that they're collecting all this data, which was bad. But new TikTok is apparent and open because our laws of disclosure related to Federal Trade Commission says you need to know explicitly that they're collecting their data. And where ByteDance, the data they collected, they shared with advertisers, so advertiser can tailor their advertising and their ads specific to you. The American version of TikTok said they're going to share your data with companies outside, not just advertisers. Yeah, so that's something that you should be concerned about, that they're collecting data. And it is also unique because this administration is aligned with Planeteer, which is the big data mining company that's owned by Peter Thiel, and which was being tweaked in 2016. It's perfected now. You might have seen ICE agents take pictures of folks. There's cross-referencing. It's a big database where they're tracking information. Another piece of information you might just need to know is that the Trump administration have been shaking down the states for access for the voter rolls. About 10 or so red states have already given up their voter rolls. And you know, when Doge had access and was taken over, they were trying to hack into the Social Security systems, which has been recently revealed was actually accomplished. There's news articles out there about that. And they also were attempting to get access to IRS rolls. Why would you need access to so many different pieces of our private data in different places, cross-reference? I don't know. Why do you think they need to do that? So when they say they're sharing your data with people outside the platform, not just advertisers, do with that what you may. So it's one of the situations of every accusation is a confession. I watched the oral arguments last January 2025, and some of the conservative members of the Supreme Court, including, I believe, Neil Gorsuch, perhaps Brett Kavanaugh, posed questions to the lawyer representing ByteDance that says, what's stopping ByteDance from using and blackmailing information they acquire from an American, perhaps when they were younger, later on when they perhaps joined the national intelligence industry? What's stopping them from doing that? Also, what's stopping ByteDance from using content moderation to push forth propaganda through their algorithms or manipulate the content so only certain type of content get to people? What's stopping China from doing that? Every accusation is a confession with these people. So the future of surveillance and coercion is perhaps something that's coming down the pike. So data sharing is broader, surveillance is deeper, location tracking is more precise. Whereas ByteDance just had a general location where you are, TikTok under America be able to know specifically where you are. So it fits a pattern for what I've been doing since 2023. I've been monitoring the TikTok sale. In fact, I'm one of the people I predicted precisely the terms, who was going to acquire it, all of those sort of things I shared in the video right here, giving myself a pat on the back for receipts or in my playlist on YouTube and TikTok. So that tells you if you want to get off, here's what you need to do. It's a few steps. Okay, the good option is just to tell people as you do your videos, put a visual representation of other places you are, and then tell them audibly to go to the link in your bio. If you have 1,000 followers or more, you get a link and you can create like a link tree, and that's simple. Of course, the problem a lot of us are facing is that the algorithms decide which of your followers see it, and they may not see it. And so that's not necessarily the most effective solution. TikTok has this new feature that's still available for most people, I believe, where you can create groups. So you can take all your followers, put them in one massive group, and the groups get notifications. They're going to get notified in the group that you updated it. And in that group, that's where you do this video, tell them that you're moving on, tell them where they can find you, visually represent the other places you are going to be, and then also direct them to the link in the bio where they can go to Linktree and follow you elsewhere. That's that's the better option because it's more direct, it's more guaranteed. Now, the problem with both of those options is you're renting space. You're going from one rented platform to another. So the other places where you have a hub may also change their terms of service. You might not like it. They may kick you off the app because people have got kicked off for various things and even without explanation, or the app itself might go under. Who knows? Unlikely, but you never know. So for that reason, it's best to have a actual domain. I have jjlegal.com. That's my domain I own. So, and domains aren't necessarily expensive. If you're watching this on YouTube or on my JJ Legal website, I'll put a link down below to the 2 domain hosting sites that I've used and trust because they have really great customer service. I've used them for like over a decade, GoDaddy and DreamHost. I'll put a link down before. Once you do that, you go to Canva, free site. Canva has an option to do website. You're going to search landing page. You'll see all these beautiful landing pages. Select one, customize it for yourself on Canva, and then you just link the domain you just bought with your name with your Canva. So this is my Canva website, just with my domain and a Canva that I saw and just customize for myself. And you can do the same thing. Now, if you're nervous about that, because you're like, I don't know how to do that, you have options. I use Fiverr, which is like a crowdsourcing sort of gig economy place where you can hire people to do that for you and they can link it for you. And it's not that expensive. So I'll put a link to Fiverr so that's an option to you as well. Now, that is a really great option. It's beautiful. Now, how do you collect the emails? Because you want to be able to reach them directly in their email box to say, hey, I have a new video coming up. Here's the videos I just did last week. If you missed it, here's where to get it. You want to get their email. So you go to, last thing you need to get, MailChimp. Create a MailChimp account. MailChimp has landing pages you can collect or and you create one pretty easy in MailChimp and then you link it into your Canva. Again, your assistant at Fiverr can help you put all those things together if you're unsure. And then if you're nervous about doing Canva, because Canva obviously is owned by Canva and you want your own, DreamHost has 3 other options where you can either just get a WordPress If you have an IT team, or you get your Fiverr person can help you. You can do a dream host, which is like a one-click create a website, or you can use AI generated. So I'll put a link to all of those trees. So those are different ways you take them from a social media platform to a platform that you own and you control with your own name, your own domain, and you get direct access to them. You can email them any given moment, share them with opportunities, share affiliate links or products or services you're selling. And because I've been asked about my own personal setup as a sit-down content creator, a podcaster, and streamer, I'll put a link down to my lights, my camera, my phone, and my computer all below. And it's a better system for you. So I hope that was helpful for you. I think, and if I don't see you on TikTok for whatever reason, see you on my other platforms, you can go to jjlegal.com and get my Trump Survivor Kit and find out other places you can find me. And